You're watching the Sun Belt Conference on ESPN as we welcome you to downtown Atlanta and Center Park Stadium today, the 9th all-time meeting as the Georgia Southern Eagles have come to town to take on the Georgia State Panthers. And good Saturday afternoon. I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Sam Crenshaw. And Sam, this game is so big in so many ways. Both these teams feel like they're better than their records indicate. Both looking for their first Sun Belt wins of the season. Both know another loss in the Sun Belt probably eliminates them from the East Division race. And it is a rivalry game. Panthers have won 2 straight in the series and lead the all-time series 5-3.
You're right. This is a rivalry game, Matt. No strangers. These guys know each other so well. Many of them were high school teammates, maybe played for rival schools in the same county or same hometown, and now they're on this stage today with everything on the line.
Let's talk about the Panthers. 1-4 on the season, coming off a win at Army. Their running back, Tucker Gregg, has set the all-time rushing touchdown record, on the verge of becoming the all-time leading rusher in program history.
They call him Tucker the Trucker for a reason. He'd rather go through you and over you than around you. Had a 100-yard-plus day against Army last week.
Defensive side of the ball, the Panthers lost their leader, Blake Carroll. Jordan Venzial has stepped into the void.
He has stepped in and done quite well. Look at the career-high tackles last week, and now he's in charge of things in the middle of that defensive unit. Watch for him.
Eagles 3-2 on the season, coming off a tough loss in Coastal Carolina. Their transfer quarterback, Kyle Van Treese, has been as good as advertised.
He really has, and the thing that they want to watch for at Georgia State is the fact that he can change. Whatever you throw at him, he can adapt to it and still find a way to beat you.
Defensive side of the ball, Eagles looking for a pass rush. Former Risewell High School star Justin Ellis might be the guy to give it to him.
And he's experience factor. A homecoming game of sorts for him. A super senior like a coach on the field. He's going to try to keep an eye on Darren Granger today.
It is a spectacular Saturday afternoon, 72 degrees. Wind coming out of the northwest at 11 miles per hour, just 34% humidity. Couldn't ask for a better day, Sam.
Couldn't ask for a better day for college football here in Atlanta, Georgia. All lined up to go, these two rivals, and it's a great day. And they look at the coach, first time he's here in the capacity of being the head football coach.
Clay Helton, the first season as the Georgia Southern Eagles head coach at 3-2 after a great career at Southern Cal. Led them to the 2017 Pac-12 championship, and Clay Helton has led them to as many victories as they won all last year.
Yes, he has, and there's a look at Sean Elliott. He's been a part of this rivalry many times before since arriving here at Georgia State. The team got a much-needed win last week up at Army.
31-34, Sean Elliott in his 6th season as the Panthers head coach. They went 8-5 a year ago. Panthers kicking off. O.J. Arnold and Darius Lewis standing deep. Ball's going to go into the end zone, so the Eagles will bring it out to the 25-yard line. And our first chance to see the Eagles on offense, the aforementioned Kyle Van Treese, 6'2", 225, 6-year senior out of Stowe, Ohio. Played at Buffalo prior to transferring to Georgia Southern. Number 9 in FBS, 323 yards per game of total offense, 61% completion rate, and he could become the all-time single-season passing leader for the Eagles today with a 300-yard passing rate. Play action, going up top to the far sideline. Got a man open at the 50-yard line. Jeremy Singleton on the cutback to the sideline, and Singleton driven out of bounds by Venzial around the 10-yard line. What a start for the Eagles.
Remarkable start for the Eagles, and Kyle Van Treese, watch, he does the pump fake, and there's the pump and go. Singleton with the catch, gets by Reese Brown, and who has to come all the way to the middle of the field to make the tackle? That's Jordan Venzial.
65 yards on the opening play. 1st and goal to go for the Eagles. Empty set for Georgia Southern. Van Treese goes to the other side this time. Jump ball and broken up in the end zone, trying to get the ball to Singleton on this side. Defense by the Panthers coming from Quavian White.
Quavian White was right there step for step. Everett fighting some coverage.
2nd down and 10. Handoff right up the middle. Jalen White, who's already got 7 rushing touchdowns this season, he crashes down to the 4-yard line.
White been very productive for the Georgia Southern offense this season. You got to look at him there.
3rd down and goal from the 4. Jalen White into the end zone, touchdown, Georgia Southern.
White just follows the middle of that offensive line, and he just leaned on the Georgia State defense, and they get the first points of the game. Here it is.
8th rushing touchdown of the season for the junior out of Daleville, Alabama. And a quick 6 points, and they'll try to make it 7 right here with Alex Rayner attempting the PAT. Anthony Beck is the holder. Mark Langston is the snapper. Kick is up and good, and Georgia Southern takes just 1 minute and 18 seconds to get on the board. Starts with a 65-yard pass down to the 10-yard line, and then Jalen White caps it from 4 yards out. Jalen White with the touchdown run to give Georgia Southern the early lead. A 75-yard drive took him 4 plays and less than 90 seconds to take the lead here in this game.
You can make a strike pass to Jeremy Singleton. That will do a lot to get you in position early.
Michael Lance from Stars Mill High School here in the Atlanta area. Started career in Minnesota. Will take the kickoff here to Southern. Robert Lewis fair catch. Watch over his head, so the Panthers will bring it out 25-yard line. And Darren Granger, 6'4", 195 years senior, out of Conway, South Carolina. Transfer Vermin brings the offense out. Number one in the Sun Belt, 15.34 yards per completion. Number 4 in FBS. So 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Georgia State already down a touchdown. Play action. Granger sprint out and throw. Complete up to the 50-yard line. Nice strike to Robert Lewis. 25-yard pickup.
And Lewis has been a big-time guy for this team, having a big breakout game several weeks ago against North Carolina. You're rolling Granger out of the pocket, finds his receiver, big pickup, 1st down.
You mentioned the North Carolina game, 7 catches for 115. They go back to Lewis here on this side, setting up a screen, and Lewis down to the 43-yard line. Got 6 yards on the play. Rangers numbers, 54% completion, over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Granger going to sprint out, has room here on the near side, flag out, probably have a hold back at the 49-yard line.
Top of the broadcast, we mentioned Justin Ellis, and he was starting to bring some pressure, made Granger break and come out of that pocket, but we got a penalty.
Holding penalty on the Panthers will negate that run by Granger. Trentus Livingston is our referee today.
Luis Cristobal we're looking at there.
To the other 47.
They're reconfiguring the offense, filling in for some people, and he's had to press into starting duties the last couple of weeks.
2nd and 14 from the 47. Straight run by Granger. Granger all the way down to the 35-yard line. Caught him by surprise. That was a straight quarterback draw by Granger, and a big pickup, moves the sticks, and another 1st down for the Panthers.
Play was by design. He got the block on that left side, and who has to track him down? Here's the big fella. Justin Ellis followed him downfield for the stop.
Big block by the left guard, Luis Cristobal. 30-yard pickup. Granger, play action, comes back, throws underneath to the tight end, and it was dropped by Ahman Green.
Green coming off a great game last week, getting more playing time, making the most of it up at Army. Dropped that one.
2nd down and 10 from the 28. First carry of the game for Tucker Gregg, punishing run down to the 15-yard line.
And here he is looking for somebody to run to.
Anthony Wilson, the DB, came up to make the stop, but a first down for the Panthers. Granger fires and dropped at the 2-yard line. Low throw. Robert Lewis could not come up with it.
Looked like Granger made the right read on that, just brought it in a little low and a little behind.
Still a catchable ball for Robert Lewis, who has 5 touchdown receptions this season, number 2 in the Sun Belt, number 13 in FBS. 2nd down and 10. Gregg on the run. This time he gets slammed at the line of scrimmage by Marquez Watson Trent.
Watson Trent making the big stop there. Also Christian Barner, 92 there as well. Brings up 3rd down.
3rd and 9. Panthers have driven from the 25-yard line. Granger with a pocket, throws and touchdown to Robert Lewis. 6 touchdown receptions of the season for Lewis. 30th career touchdown pass for Darren Granger. Ties him for number 3 on the Panthers all-time list with Connor Manning. Michael Hayes on for the PAT. Jack Bernstein is now the new long snapper after the season-ending injury to Seth Glauser. He's perfect on that as Cade Loggins gets down the hole. And we're tied at 7. What a start here in Atlanta. Both teams come out firing on all cylinders. We've played less than 4 full minutes. We're tied at 7. Wild 9th all-time meeting between these two teams. As you take a look at the series history, Panthers do have a 5-3 lead. They've won the last 2, including the last meeting here in 2020. Eagles last one in 2018 and 2019. The first meeting of the series coming back in 2014 in the old Georgia Dome. Panthers 21-14 winners at Paulson Stadium last year when Jamias Williams scored the game-winning touchdown with 26 seconds remaining.
I remember that first one. Georgia Southern winning 69-31 back in the Georgia Dome.
Not a pleasant memory for Panthers fans. Of course, that was the first year the Eagles played in the Sun Belt under head coach Willie Fritz. They went 8-0 and won the Sun Belt Conference Championship.
Yep. They had a tremendous team that season.
Second chance to see this Eagles offense. Kyle Van Treese, 65-yard pass to set up the first touchdown to Jeremy Singleton. See if they have more of that in store for the Panthers defense. Van Treese has already set a program record today, or is trying to set a program record today, with 6 straight games of touchdown passes. Goes to Jalen White. White is going to get stopped at the 27-yard line by Antavius Lane.
Tries to get White out of a little space there in 34. The hit stick already has 9 interceptions, career interceptions, but shows he can come up and stop the run too.
First team preseason all Sun Belt, 4th-year junior out of West Palm Beach and Dwyer High School. Gaping hole for Jalen White up to the 41-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Eagles.
White just running hard. We talked about him scoring touchdowns this season. But he's the go-to guy for the run game, and he gets to move the sticks that time. First
13-yard pickup leads the team, 455 yards rushing coming into today. White going to get the handoff again. This time he's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing that time. Jordan Jones, the man who's taken over the starting spot at the linebacker, the inside linebacker spot, vacated when Blake Carroll went down with the injury in on that tackle along with Thomas Gore.
Thomas Gore, and we're going to watch for young Jordan Jones. They call him Young Jordan because the other Jordan is Vince Allen. They're right there at the middle of the defense for Georgia State.
2nd down and 8. Ball at the 42. Arnold in motion. He's open up there. They're going to go to the sideline and intercepted at the 35-yard line by Quavian White. 11th career interception for Quavian White. He's now number 4 among active players in career interceptions in FBS football.
Outstanding play. First turnover of the game. Now you see how the teams respond.
And in a game like today, that's kind of like a tennis match where you got to break the other team's serve. The Panthers just did that. You see with that interception, he is now up to number 4 among active players in FBS, tied with Mississippi State's Emmanuel Forbes. 11 career interceptions now as the Panthers go back on offense. Granger surveys. Now here comes the pass rush. Gets away from that. And then Ellis can't get his on the ground. Coming back to make the play, the big man for the Eagles. And Granger shaken up on the play. That was Kieran Smith out of Fitzgerald High School who finally got him on the ground. But let's keep our eye on Granger here.
And here's what happened to him. He's just eluding defenders here. Shakes one here.
And Kieran Smith came back and made the play after missing him initially. No, it was 99.
99 and 33. That combined for the stop on that play.
So the medical staff out there to tend to Darren Granger.
Got him back up.
Michele Colasurdo is the backup, and he's warming up on the sideline as Granger comes to the sideline. We'll step aside as they tend to Granger, and Sean Elliott out there to meet his quarterback. Well, Darren Granger went to the medical tent, but he's already been released from the tent. He's standing on the sideline, so it looks like he's going to be ready to come back in shortly as Mikey Colasurdo takes over at the quarterback spot. And the handoff and no gain on the play whatsoever as Jamias Williams gets stopped right there at the line of scrimmage by Wyland Free. And Granger back in the game. So 3rd and 15 for the Panthers. The good news is Granger not seriously hurt.
23 Marcus Carroll is checked in also at running back.
Line to gain is the 43. Granger stands in the pocket and nearly intercepted at the 41-yard line. Kadri Jackson, the linebacker, dropped into coverage and had the ball in his hands.
He gets that big paw up there. He can't pull it in, but nice defensive play there by the transfer from North Carolina.
4th down, punting situation for the Panthers. Michael Hayes on to kick. Amari Jones standing deep for the Eagles back at the 27. Hayes, they bring the house. He gets it out of there. Jones will field at the 31 and go down immediately. Just a 1-yard gain. Good punt coverage by the Panthers that time. Georgia Southern going on offense now for the 3rd time today. 41-yard punt by Hayes with little to no return.
31 Ronald Cooper is down the field on special teams, and he does that well for Georgia State, getting down to make the stop. Now let's see what this Georgia Southern offense has. The possession, the last one ended with a turnover.
Vantrease 2 of 4, 68 yards, all but 3 coming on that long pass to Jeremy Singleton on the first play of the game. He threw an interception on the last possession. Toss. Short pickup. And that's O.J. Arnold, who back in December in this building scored 5 touchdowns in Brooks County's single A state championship victory over Irwin County. Rushed for over 300 yards that day, and one of the single most spectacular individual performances I've seen in a championship game by a running back.
He's glad to see this building again.
2nd down and 6. He stays in pass pro this time. High throw out there on the edge, trying to get the ball to Singleton. Now it's going to be 3rd down. Jalen Jones on the coverage for the Panthers. 3rd and 6. Line to gain is the 42. Vantrease throws in traffic, tip and incomplete. Bunch of players for the Panthers and the Eagles bunched in one spot.
Jalen Jones is over there, number 10. Ja'Cory Crawford over there providing defense for Georgia State. Brings up 4th down.
And the Eagles, I don't know whether by design or by mix-up, had 2 wide receivers in the same spot. And Anthony Beck, one of the best punters in the nation, on to kick for Georgia Southern, first time today. You see the 43-plus yards punt for his career is the best in program history. This will be the 199th career punt for him. That's also a Georgia Southern record.
Coach Helton appreciates this guy so much. One of his favorite guys on the team. We got a flag.
At South Effingham High School before joining the Georgia Southern program as a punter.
Illegal snap, offense 95, 5-yard penalty, remain 4th down.
So the penalty pushes the ball back to the 32-yard line. Clay Helton felt like they let one get away last week at Coastal Carolina, had a lead. Ended up losing 34-30 to the Chanticleers. Beck booms that one out of there away from Jamias Williams, and it's going to be down at about the 19-yard line, I think, is where they'll end up putting it down. Clay Helton this week, when we had the opportunity to talk to him, wanted to see more efficiency from his team in the red zone offensively, had to settle for a field goal that ended up costing them, and also wanted to see a better back-end play from his defense after giving up 6 explosive plays in the second half to the Chanticleers.
That's exactly one of their keys to victory today, is to avoid the explosive plays by Georgia State. You watch see what their defense is doing. They're going to have to do it without Derek Canteen, who's one of the stalwarts of their defensive unit. He's missing today's game.
They ended up spotting the ball at the 23-yard line. Canteen in concussion protocol. Freshman All-American 2 years ago. Handoff comes to the near side, and Carroll, big run up to the 43-yard line. Marcus Carroll on his first touch moves the sticks. 20-yard pickup.
We talked with Trent McKnight about this guy. He said he gives them something the other running backs don't. That's why he's getting more touches.
Granger throws to the far side, overshoots Jamari Thrash out there. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Granger has started the day 3 for 7, 45 yards, and the touchdown pass to Robert Lewis on the opening possession. Second down and 10. Rush is coming. They hand off instead. And Carroll across the 50. Ball is out. Eagles might have it. It looks like they do. Unless they rule them down, they won't. It's going to be Georgia Southern's ball at the 48. Seth Robertson comes up with the fumble recovery, and now both teams have a turnover.
And now we got a flag on the field.
Yeah, the poke out from behind right there by Trayvon Locke The defensive lineman was able to sneak his hand in there and just poke it out.
See what the call, Georgia State offense staying on the field.
The results of the play was a fumble recovery by the defense. Block below the waist, defense number 5. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
So Waylon Free, after the fumble recovery by Seth Robertson, apparently blocked below the waist, so that'll be a 15-yard mark-off going the other way against the Eagles.
There's the ball getting knocked out right there.
Didn't see the block below the waist, which is kind of odd because there was no return on the play. You would think there would need to be a return, but that's the call, and the ball will be placed down at the 34-yard line for the Eagles. "96 yards of total offense so far for the Eagles today. 68 in the air, 28 on the ground. 2 first downs. Granger to the air, and it's complete inside the 30-yard line. That goes to Cradle, and the ball is going to be placed down at the 18-yard line.
Talk about the difference this guy makes. Bothered by injuries early part of this season, he's healthy now and contributing in a big way. First down.
16-yard pickup. Handoff goes to Tucker Gregg. Gregg right up the middle and down to the 11. "56 rushing yards for the Panthers. They're trying to take the lead here. Granger on the keeper. Struggles down to the 6.
Good enough for the first down.
First and goal from the 6 for Georgia State. Under 6 minutes to play here, opening quarter. Tucker Gregg lowers his helmet, shoves his body down to the 3-yard line. And Malik Sumter somehow came away with the ball and ran into the end zone.
Isn't that the dream of every center?
I'm not sure how that happened,
Every
but
center.
the play had been blown down.
Let me touch that ball some kind of way.
They'll spot it at the 4.
Good look at it.
He took it from him. First time I've seen the center strip the running back of the ball, but that's exactly what happened. Play was dead. Second down and goal. Gregg runs into traffic, going to be driven back. Nothing doing. Justin Ellis leading the way for the Eagles right there. It's going to be third down and goal.
Georgia Southern defense up front getting stiff here in the red zone.
Ball at the 5, third down and goal from the 5-yard line. Panthers 1 of 2 on their third down conversions. Granger, quick pass out on the edge and drop. Jacob Freeman going to be stopped at the 6-yard line by Tyler Bride. And it's going to be fourth down.
Tyler Bride was there all the way. A nice solo stop.
Panthers will try for a field goal here. This will be a 24-yard attempt for Michael Hayes from the right hash. So all in all, that's a victory for Georgia Southern. Panthers had it 1st and goal from the 6. And the kick is up and good. 24-yard field goal by Michael Hayes makes it 10-7. Georgia State. Panthers lead for the first time today.
When you look back on that, you talk about finishing drives in the red zone. You want to get 6 points, obviously, but you come away with 3. You're Georgia State.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where the Panthers not totally happy. They wanted to score the touchdown there, and Georgia Southern not totally disappointed because they didn't kept them out of the end zone. So kind of a victory for both teams right there. Well, we talked about it off the top, how important this game was. Of course, both teams looking, Sam, for their first Sun Belt victories. But more importantly, a loss pretty much eliminates you from the East Division, since both the Panthers and the Eagles are 0-1 in the conference. The Eagles losing at Georgia Southern. The Eagles losing at Coastal Carolina last Saturday. The Panthers losing to Coastal Carolina here 2 games ago. Arnold from the 5-yard line. Amari Arnold out to the 31-yard line. Nice return. That's where the Eagles go on offense. Here's a look at those Sun Belt standings. You see in the East, Coastal Carolina and James Madison playing at Arkansas State tonight. James Madison, kind of the talk of the conference right now at 2-0. They've already beaten App. And Georgia Southern, Georgia State down there with Marshall at 0-1. 2 losses in either division pretty much, I think, would eliminate you from contention to get to the championship game. So early pressure on both of these teams here today. Van Treese back out there at quarterback. Only 2 of 6 with an interception to start this day. Quick fire and incomplete at the 35-yard line, trying to go to Caleb Hood.
Hood and John Trey Hunter there on the coverage. Kind of does it all on the team. He can bring some pass rush. Has a 77-yard interception return for touchdown this season.
Yep, that came in the Army game, pardon me. Last Saturday, a 31-14 victory for the Panthers at West Point. 3.5 to play in the quarter. Up in the air, intercepted. Jamil Muhammad. Second interception of the day for the Panthers defense.
We got a helmet off the midfield too.
That one was on the wide receiver, Sam.
Take another look at it here. Hit him right in the hands. And the former quarterback says, look what I found.
Got to come up with that catch if you're the Georgia Southern Eagles. That was right in his hands. Gift wrapped a turnover for the Panthers defense. Jamil Muhammad, the former quarterback and transfer from Vanderbilt, gets the ball back for the offense.
Talk about one of those kind of players that coaches love. Coach, what do you need me to do? Not quarterback, but let me get on the defensive side of the ball and do some things to help the team.
Well, it took a little bit of convincing for the Panthers with Jamil Muhammad. He had never played the position before, but they convinced him. They felt like he'd be able to do that. And here he is starting after making that transition from the quarterback position a couple of years on the depth chart, and now starting here for the Panthers. Tucker Gregg with the run down to the 31-yard line. Gregg again. Watson Trent hits him on the legs. Going to be close to a first down. Let's see where the spot goes. It's good enough for the first down.
Tucker Gregg doing what he does, getting the tough yards and moving the chains.
9 first downs already for the Panthers today, only 2 for Georgia Southern. Granger scrambles to his left and will step out of bounds at the 25, picks up 3 on the run.
Granger didn't like what he saw. Some good coverage by the Georgia Southern secondary.
Like I said before, they're really looking for some better play on the back end. Gave up some big-time plays last couple of weeks. Trying to set up a screen. That's a nice play. Out on the edge by Najee Thompson to blow up the screen play and get Cradle on the ground. Third down. Najee Thompson, talking about players converting from one side of the ball to the other, started his career as a wide receiver in the Eagles program. Third down and 8. Line to gain is the 18. Ball sits on the 26. Eagles got press coverage out on the edge, and a timeout, I believe, is going to be called by Georgia State. It will, stopping the clock with 1:38 to play in the quarter.
Sean Elliott saw something and called a timeout to bring the team over to talk with him. You got another opportunity here with the offense. Last time you settled for 3. Sure, he wants this time to get the right play, to move the chains further, get back into the red zone and finish this time.
Panthers are just 1 for 3 on their third down so far today, including a failed third down conversion on their last possession from the 5-yard line that resulted in Hayes settling on the 24-yard field goal. Clay Helton told us, loved the way his team responded in practice this week. Had some adverse conditions, kind of like a high school game, in that they bust to Conway on the day of the game because of Hurricane Ian. You don't get that hardly ever, if never, in college football where you're traveling on day of game. Third down and 8. Granger whips it out to the outside and caught at the 25, and Anthony Wilson drops Jamari Thrash in his tracks. It's going to be 4th down.
Throw out there, and Wilson's there making the big stop.
Hayes on to try another field goal. This is going to be a 42-yard attempt from the right hash. Kick is on its way, and it's going to hook in there and be good. 42-yard kick by Hayes makes it 13-7.
And look at 51 right there. Bernstein, he's a guy who's just been thrown into the fire as the long snapper for this Georgia State team. He's been pretty much flawless. You know, he really has for a guy that was thrown into that position. A freshman. Look at everybody's he's taking on as the guy now. And you know, the long snapper is a guy you really don't notice until
they make a mistake.
Right, things go wrong. And so to be thrown in, replacing Seth Glauser and going in, he's really been that. And he's exciting. He's waving his arms. He's having fun. This is your long snapper.
Freshman out of Alpharetta, Georgia High School. Looks like they got their own little routine. The special teams guys have their own little routine. It's Glauser, number 66. You see him on the crutches. His career effectively coming to an end with his injury.
Yeah. Seems like his position's in pretty good hands.
So Panthers up by 6 now. Hayes with the kickoff. This one will be non-returnable as it goes through the back of the end zone, and the Eagles bring it out to the 25 with a minute, a little bit less than that to go here in the quarter. So the Eagles have generated 96 yards of offense here in the quarter, 68 in the air, 28 on the ground. They've got just 2 first downs. Pretty much all of their offense, 75 of that 96 came on the opening drive.
See what offensive coordinator Brian Ellis has cooked up. Enjoyed talking with him this week.
1st and 10 from the 25. And the handoff, and not much doing for the Eagles right there on that run. Trey Moore making the tackle. That was Gerald Green, who started East Coweta High School here in the Atlanta area, his first carry of the game. Bo Johnson, the tight end in motion. Gerald Green gets the handoff. And Green out to the 30-yard line. Got maybe 3 on the play that time. You mentioned Brian Ellis. I called his state championship game when he was a senior at Peach County High School. We got a chance to reminisce a little bit. Peach County won that day down in Fort Valley, beat Shaw High School out of Columbus. Said that his mother made a DVD of that, and they watch it all the time. So I was glad to be able to provide for the family fun.
I think we've seen the last play of this quarter.
And we have. Time runs out in the first quarter. Eagles scored in the opening 90 seconds of the game, but the Panthers have come back with 13 unanswered. 13-7, Georgia State on top as we head to the second. Sean Elliott, 4 bowl games in his first 5 seasons. Program record 8-5 last year. Consecutive bowl wins in 2020, 2021. 6th season, 31-34. He was reminiscing about the victory at Army last week. Said, you know, we went to West Point, and you look up, they got 3 national championship banners, 3 Heisman Trophy winners. And he was thinking, you know, we're not even supposed to be competing with these guys. Our program's barely a decade old. Van Treese goes to the air and complete to Derwin Burgess. And a big run by Burgess and a flag out at the end of the play as well. This might be something on the tackle as they were going out of bounds. Derwin Burgess, the star out of Riverdale High School here in the Atlanta area, his first catch of the game.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 10. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
As Ja'Cory Crawford got a hand in that face mask, and it's going to really move the ball again. Take another look at it here.
15-yard catch.
Nice run after the catch by Burgess, and reaches in there.
And then a 15-yard penalty tacked on to the end of it, so the ball placed down at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Van Treese scrambles out to the right, hit as he throws, and got it out of there and completed the 22-yard line. Again to Derwin Burgess. Javon Dennis hit Van Treese right as he delivered, and he got it downfield anyway.
Take another look. Van Treese, it throws it out there, and Burgess. I kept that feet in bounds.
They're going to stop and take a look at that one. He might have had a toe on the line.
The previous play of a catch at the sideline is under further review. Timeout.
Yeah, he definitely had a foot down, it would seem. But take another look at it right here. There's Dennis. Actually, that was not Dennis. That was Tylon Dunlap, number 50, who got the quarterback on the ground. And they're going to take a look to see if Burgess got his feet in bounds. But just to put a bow on that story, so the Panthers win at Army, and he said he was going through tweets. So
that foot.
Yeah, foot. No, well, got to catch it first, and foot down right there. I think so. But does he have control? Looks like he does to me. I think he had the right foot down, even though the left foot looked like it might have come down and nudged the line. It looks like his right foot might have been planted when he got the ball. I think the question for our replay officials are going to be, did he have control of the ball with that right foot planted, or did he not have control of the ball when his toe hits the line with his left foot? So right there, the right foot is planted inbounds. Does he have control because the left foot is nudging the line? So they are going to rule it a catch. And upon further review and us seeing the replay, I think they got the call right. Okay, now to put a bow on the story, they win at Army, and the Braves won, Georgia won, Georgia Tech won last week. He goes, I'm going through Twitter, and one of the media types in town had listed all the teams that won and left us out. referring to us being him and his team, left them out. He said, well, that's fine with me. We just keep flying under the radar. Vantrease didn't look like he was ready for the snap.
Looked like he was surprised by that.
Goes down at the 23.
Good thing he was able to get a hand up there and bring it down, because I don't think he was prepared for that snap.
Second down, ball now at the 24 after the Eagles take a loss on that play. Play action. Vantrease to the near sideline. In and out of the hands. That's a touchdown catch for Amari Jones if he holds on to it.
And he had lost his defender. Jontre Hunter has lost his footing there in the end zone. And there was nothing there but Jones and the football. Another look.
That's a couple of catches that they should have had. One that turned into an interception. That should have been a touchdown. And it's going to be third down.
The defender falls down. There's nothing there but he and the ball, but he can't haul it in.
3rd and 12. To Caleb Hood. And Hood gets tackled from behind by Thomas Gore. And it's going to be 4th down, and they'll bring the field goal unit on.
There's a look at Thomas Gore. And this goes back to what Coach Helton was talking about, getting those drives and not being able to get into the end zone. See if they can get 3 points here.
Right in the center of the field. This is a 35-yard attempt for Alex Rayner. And Rayner puts it through. So we've had 3 consecutive field goals after 2 touchdowns were scored in the opening 4 minutes and less. 13-10, Georgia State on top. Back in Atlanta, Matt Stewart along with Sam Crenshaw. Sam, the game has settled down a little bit after we had fireworks in the first 4 minutes. 13-10 lead for Georgia State as the Eagles were able to answer, capping an 8-play, 57-yard drive with the 35-yard field goal by Alex Rayner.
Well, let's give a tip of the cap to the defensive units on both sides, who've really gotten tougher since those first 2 possessions for each team.
That said, Georgia Southern did miss a touchdown catch right there. Amari Jones should have gotten 6 out of that. Now Lance will kick off for the Eagles. Ball will not be returned, so the Panthers bring it out to the 35-yard line. Darren Granger making his 16th start for the Panthers today. He's accounted for 32 touchdowns coming into today's action, 28 passing touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns, and 15.34 yards per clip. That's number 4 in the entire FBS. Now the 28, a little bit confusing. He had 29 total touchdowns, 28 as a starter, so he's picked up his 30th career touchdown pass today, tying himself with Connor Manning for number 3 on the all-time list. And he's already moved up on the passing chart, right up the middle. Jamias Williams to the sideline and out of bounds inside the 35.
Here comes Jam. Boy, big opening for him here.
With that run, Jamias Williams is passed by Donald Russell into number 5 on the Panthers' all-time rushing list. That goes for 42 yards. Williams again. A couple of yards on the play is Waylon Free, the 6-year senior and transfer from Fresno State, making the tackle for the Eagles.
Williams over 100 yards last week at Army as well. He and Greg both over 100 yards last week.
3 carries for 49 yards so far today. He's now up over 1,400 for his career. Cut by Williams. Williams down inside the 15-yard line. Just a lot of space to be running in right now.
He's finding it, and he's got that burst of speed when he finds it. Cuts it up. Got those chains. Move it again for Georgia State.
It's a 13-yard pickup. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 13. 11th first down for the Panthers in this game. 3rd consecutive run for Jamias Williams. Crashes down across the 10-yard line. And that was Justin Birdsong coming up to make the tackle.
Birdsong, local product out of Stevenson High School, DeKalb County.
Yep. 5th-year senior. 2nd down and 6. Ball is lying on the 9-yard line. The line to gain is the 3. Fourth consecutive carry for Williams. Gets wrapped up at the 7-yard line. Kadri Jackson making the tackle.
Nice solo stop by Jackson on that play. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Tucker Gregg goes back in at running back for Georgia State.
Gregg 7 carries, 32 yards. Panthers need 3 for the first down. 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions today. And timeout going to be called by Georgia State.
Timeout, Georgia State. 2nd timeout of the first half. Timeout.
So Panthers call timeout to discuss this big 3rd down play. We'll step aside while they make their decision. Third and 3 coming up for the Panthers. 13-10 lead for Georgia State. There's Freedom the Eagle for the Georgia Southern Eagles making the trip to Atlanta today.
Yep.
So big 3rd down coming up right here as the Panthers try to score their 2nd touchdown of the day. The first coming on Granger's first quarter touchdown pass to Robert Lewis. Panthers have been held to 2 field goals since. Jamias Williams now in the ball game coming out of the timeout. Tucker Gregg was on the field when they called the timeout. This has kind of been the Jamias Williams drive. He's handled all the running duties to get him down to this 6-yard line. 5 plays, 69 yards for the Panthers so far on the drive. Jamias Williams trying to sweep to the outside, going to get in the corner and score the touchdown. Jamias Williams takes it in from 6 yards out, and the Panthers increase their lead to 19-10.
Williams doing all the heavy lifting for this series and finishes things off going around that left side.
Had big right guard Pat Bartlett running convoy for him and clearing the way. And the Panthers back up by 2 scores. Michael Hayes. Makes it 20-10. Look at the big 6'4", 295, 6-year senior Pat Bartlett out there shoving down the defensive back, making it an easy touchdown run for Jamias Williams. 20-10, Panthers on top. Jamias Williams with the 6-yard rushing touchdown and a 20-10 lead for Georgia State. Williams already with 76 yards on 7 carries today and has moved into 5th all time in Panthers rushing. Got a great shot of moving up to number 4 today before it's done.
Tip of the cap to the offensive line for Georgia State in that last possession. They went out and really paved things and had some wide open holes.
Yeah, Jamias Williams ran in a lot of space, a lot of open space on that drive. And the kick coming down at the 3-yard line. Omari Arnold, O.J. Arnold up to the 31, so good field position for the Eagles, and a late flag comes out as well. A lot of chippiness going on right now between these two sides.
It's been happening at the end of plays, and on a timeout recently, Sean Elliott called the entire team up to talk with them about it. Let's see what the official has to say. It's our referee.
Holding on return, doing the return, number 39, 10 yards from the spotted foul, 1st and 10.
So Reed Dedmon's called for the holding call. That's going to back him up from the initial spot, which was around the 31, 32-yard line.
That's one of the things Coach Helton said he also wanted to see his team clean up. In addition to cut down on explosive plays and finish drives in the red zone, also clean up some penalties. Some things that were self-inflicted.
That'll be the 3rd penalty, 30 yards worth for the Eagles. So 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Van Treese just 5 for 12 today with 2 interceptions. Has not been a great day for him so far. Gerald Green on the run. Not much running room, maybe a yard on the play.
There's Jamil Muhammad on that stop. One of the leaders in the weight room. This Georgia State team
already has an interception today as well. Van Treese goes to the air and it's dropped. Another drop by the Eagles and their wide receiving core. Bo Johnson, the tight end. That's 3 drops. One that resulted in an interception. So the wideouts not helping out Van Treese today whatsoever. Johnson's dad, Charles Johnson, former Major League All-Star, played against the Braves here in the 1997 NLCS as a member of the Florida Marlins. You might remember that in this building.
Georgia Southern.
Got some family history in this.
First timeout in the first half, 30 seconds.
So timeout called. We'll step aside with the Panthers leading by 10. Johnson & Johnson, Bo Johnson following in his father's footsteps, playing in this stadium. Bo playing football what is now known as Center Parc Stadium. Charles, his dad, played here when it was known as Turner Field. In fact, played here a number of times. But since we are in the middle of October baseball, we remember some of the biggest moments he had against the Braves back in the 1997 NLCS. Marlins won that series 4-2, went on to win the World Series, and Charles Johnson had a couple of doubles and 5 RBI in dispatching the Braves that season. You might remember it as the Levon Hernandez series if you're a Braves fan. Pass is a long throw out here and caught by Caleb Hood at the 25-yard line. Going to be close to a first down. And it is going to be enough for the first down. They put the ball down at the 26.
Asked Coach Helton if he had been to this stadium before. He said, sure, he'd been there to see a Braves game, but he was anxious to see the configuration now for football.
Also called on his 30,000-plus alumni for Georgia Southern living here in the Atlanta area to show up.
Further review whether or not the runner made the line to gain. Timeout.
There's a look at the crowd that's gathered here for this game. Georgia Southern and Georgia State fans here today, once known as Turner Field, and we were talking about the baseball history now giving way to the football history here for the Panthers and named Center Parc Stadium.
Historic facility, of course, all the way going back to the Olympics.
Yeah, it started out as Olympic Stadium. And I had the great pleasure to, go to events here in that stadium. And
I saw Gail Devers run in this stadium.
And it was at that time an 80,000 seat facility. So the area that is open in what was once center field, that was all seats.
Yep.
It was a complete bowl. And then they retrofitted it after the 1996 Summer Olympics for the Braves' first season in this ballpark in 1997. Speaking of construction, well, there's the Convocation Center. That'll be the new home of the Georgia State Panthers basketball team. Their season starting in less than a month.
Yep, got a big date. November 12th, Georgia Tech will come to play at the new Convocation Center. You see a look at it there, and it's right directly across the street from the corner where the Olympic Cauldron still remains. It's here, still on the Georgia State property, and it still works.
And I know there's the Cauldron right there, and I know the Panthers fan base very excited about the new facility for basketball.
New head coach, Jonas Hayes, local product, Georgia grad.
Played at Douglas High School, not too far from here.
He's excited. He is thrilled. He and Brother Jarvis are so excited.
And speaking of Sunbelt basketball, I'm looking forward. I'll be anchoring the Sunbelt Media Day coverage in New Orleans next Tuesday and Wednesday on ESPN Plus. So get your basketball previews. We'll be hitting all the teams, all 14 men's and women's basketball teams on ESPN Plus.
After further review, the runner was short of the line of the game. The ball be placed at the 25.5-yard line, fourth and short.
Oh, that changes things dramatically because now it's fourth down and Clay Helton brings his punting unit on. That's a tough break for the Eagles right there as they rule he was down at the 25 instead of the 26, which was what I thought when I watched it in live time. I thought the 26-yard line was a generous spot, so now Beck is on to punt from the 10-yard line. And they're going to run a fake and get it. So they get the first down anyway. Clay Helton rolls the dice and runs the fake from the 25-yard line, and the Eagles will keep the ball.
This could prove to be a big play for Georgia Southern. Take a look.
Snap goes to Arnold, I believe, right? Yep, O.J. Arnold, Omari Arnold on the carry, picks up the first down. So a gutsy play. Stampley, actually, they have two number 22s, and that's Mark Stampley, another kid who's from the Atlanta area. Van Treese going to throw back, and it's caught by Hood, and he steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Actually lost 3 yards on the play.
He had to unload that thing. He's getting big pressure. John Trey Hunter had to put the hit on him. We've seen Hunter do everything. We've seen him back in coverage. We've seen him stop the run. Here he is bringing some pass rush.
Second down and 13, ball at the 25. Van Treese fires, and nice catch by Singleton. First catch for him since he hauled in that 65-yarder on the first play of the game.
Singleton making the catch. Great throw there by Van Treese.
And good job by Singleton, too, the seventh-year senior and transfer from Houston. How about the Cougars last night, coming from 19 points down to beat Memphis? 3rd and 1. And that will be a first down for the Eagles.
Jalen White with the run and just followed that line. Got that push. Enough to move the sticks.
4 of their 5 starters on the offensive line are 5th or 6th year seniors. They'll have some guys to replace next year. Langmeyer, their center, has started 48 consecutive games now. Van Treese dumps it off to Hood. That's a first down. So Hood, with a couple of catches today, has moved into number 2 all-time in pass receptions in Georgia Southern history.
There's Antavius Lane on the stop. Van Treese once again was feeling the pressure.
13-yard pickup. So Hood now has 3 catches today. That gives him 94 for his career. He passes by B.J. Johnson and Monty Sharp for second on the Eagles' all-time list. They go to Singleton again. And Singleton down to the 36, probably coming back. Looks like we have an illegal block on Derwin Burgess.
Those flags came out quickly on that play. Bring out the name of some of the all-time greats of Georgia Southern.
Holding offense number 2, 10 yards from the previous spot. Remain first down.
Well, Burgess took out 2 guys with his block. Now we know why he was holding.
There's a look at it right there.
Took out 1 guy and he was holding it. There you go. So they bring the ball back to the 42-yard line, but Burgess is a big-time player in this program, going to really blossom in this offense for Helton. They go to Singleton on the inside screen, and Singleton stopped by Lane at the 45-yard line.
Lane right there. Trey Moore also catching him from behind. Look like they've drawn that play up to execute it, but they go in and still make the big stop. Brings up second down.
3 catches, 77 yards for Singleton. Second down and 16. Play action to Arnold, and bobbled and caught by Singleton, but he's not going anywhere as he gets driven back. Benzial was there to make the tackle.
Benzial almost shows up the same time as the ball here. If he gets a hand in it, he may have been able to knock that out. Still, he hangs on and makes the big stop. 3rd and long here.
5 total tackles for Benzial here in the first half. He had a career high 13 last week against Army. 3rd and 16. Eagles 3 of 6 on 3rd downs. Van Treese to the air. It's caught at the 41, and Burgess going to be close to the first down after getting thrown to the ground by Bryce Brown.
He was determined to throw him back, but I think he got enough for the first down. Sticks are moving. Brown just wouldn't give up on him.
It is the first down. 9th first down for the Eagles. They have it 1st and 10 at the Panthers 38.
Nice takedown. John Cena would have been proud of that.
Inside handoff. Now the pitch back. The ball is loose and covered at the 49-yard line. Eagles were very fortunate not to cough that up as Singleton got on top of it, and Lane drops him for a huge loss back at the 49.
The inside handoff is one thing, but then the pitch back, and it hits the lineman. Oh my goodness, that could have been disaster.
11-yard loss on the play. They might not try that again for a while. 2nd down and 20. Pump fake, Van Treese up top, receiver broke in, the ball went out. Amari Arnold the target. It's going to be 3rd down.
I mean, they work hard to get the first down, and some of the play selection and decisions.
Well, obviously the trick play there failed miserably, and then on that play they had miscommunication. Wide receiver broke in, and the pass went to the sideline. 3rd down and 20. Van Treese stands in the pocket, delivers downfield. Going to be a flag out and a PI on the Panthers. Jalen Jones going to get flagged here.
And I'm not sure if that ball was going to be catchable anyway, but you get your hands up when the ball is on the way.
Pass interference, defense, number 15. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
I think he meant number 27.
Yeah, he said 15.
Jalen Jones gets called for the penalty. So new life. The Panthers bail him out right there with the penalty. Yeah, a 3rd and 16, 3rd and 20 actually that they just converted. And it's going to be first down at the 33-yard line. Van Treese, far sideline, incomplete, trying to go to Arnold on a wheel route. It's going to be second down.
That's Ja'Cory Crawford in on the coverage on that play.
Going to be second down and 10. Van Treese 12 of 22 for 158, couple of picks. Second down and 10. The ball at the 33. Van Treese didn't see the pressure coming, and it is picked off by the Panthers. 3rd interception of the day for Georgia State. Jontre Hunter lays out to pick it off.
You got to say that, but also watch for the big hit he takes from number 9, Jamil Muhammad, coming in on the blitz. And Hunter makes the play. We've seen him do everything today. We've seen him in coverage, pass pressure, stopping the run, and here he is with a pick.
Van Treese didn't see the pressure coming. Hunter with the pick. Had the 77-yard pick last week, pardon me.
And now we got to do something. We got to review here.
So the review will be, I guess, to see if he trapped it.
Our replay official, Marty Apazician. Getting the workout here today.
Let's see, did he trap it? Well, can't tell from that angle. How about from this angle? Well, there was movement.
Or was his hand underneath the ball?
That's the question. Looks like his hand's underneath the ball, but there could be some doubt right here with the movement on the ball when he comes down with it. We'll see how they interpret that. Yeah, it looks like it's hard to tell.
It is.
It's hard to tell. That ball might have been on the ground, which will negate the interception if that's what they see. But not an easy call right there. Again, the call on the field was interception by Jontre Hunter. And our referee, Trennis Livingston.
It's another angle. Looks like he has it there.
Yeah, can't tell. The back angle, the camera from the end zone gives you the best look. But it has to be conclusive evidence. And remember, the call on the field, which is the critical part of this equation, was an interception. Yeah. Now that angle right there might bring it back. Yeah, you see, there's enough movement on that ball that is going to be perhaps evidence enough for the official that he didn't have control.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Interception, Georgia State. 1st and 10, Georgia State.
Yeah, like I said, it was going to be a tough call.
It was.
And the key component there was that it was ruled an interception on the field. Had they gone the other way, they probably would have upheld that too, because the evidence there is just didn't have enough conclusive evidence. So the Panthers take over at the 20-yard line following a 3rd interception thrown by Van Treese today. Complete to Williams. Tyleik Williams, space to run. Scoots down the sideline, out of bounds at the 47. 27-yard pickup for Tyleik Williams.
Finds a spot right there and shakes the tackler. Great yards after the catch by Williams. Shoestring stop there. Another first down.
1st and 10 from the 47. Going for the home run. First time they've tried that today. It's caught over the shoulder. Touchdown, Georgia State. Jamari Thrash hauls it in, and the Panthers have a 26-10 lead.
Something about them guys from down I-85. You get Williams from Harris County, and you get Thrash from Troop. Finishing the drive. Thrash really emerged last season as a big-time performer for Georgia State.
And one of the big areas of improvement for Darren Granger this year has been his accuracy on the deep ball. PAT is good, 27-10 Panthers. And because the Panthers are so efficient at running the ball, teams are going to bring safeties down in the box to try to load the box. And that's why the Panthers have been so effective at the deep ball. They get the one-on-one matchups because teams load up the box trying to stop the run.
Tip of the cap once again to the offensive line. And we talked about they had to reassign some because of some injuries earlier in the season. Some of those guys are coming back right now, but in different places. Look at the time that Granger has for this receiver to find his way open downfield. Great catch by Thrash.
So Granger has moved up the charts here today. He's now number 4. He's now number 5 all-time in program passing. He's moved past Cornelius Brown. And he's number 3 all-time in touchdown passes, passing by Connor Manning. And Thrash, the leading receiver for the Panthers this year, and 2nd in the Sun Belt in receiving yards, with the 53-yard touchdown catch to put Georgia State on top by 17. Kick will not be returned, and so the Eagles bring it out to the 35. They started the game so well, scoring in less than 90 seconds. A big 65-yard pass from Van Treese to Singleton, but Singleton has had only a couple of short receptions since, and Van Treese has already thrown 3 picks here today. And the Eagles offense has scored only a 35-yard field goal from Rayner since, as they go back out there. Now down 17 with 3.5 to play in the half. Jalen White gets slung to the ground. Shamar McCullum making the tackle.
Transfer out of Wake Forest. And when he gets an opportunity to assert himself and make plays, he's been doing it more this season.
2nd down and 8.
Look at that number.
Jalen White right up the middle that time. Gets grabbed by the ankles. Tackle made by Ja'Cory Crawford. Going to be 3rd down. Pretty amazing. The Eagles, so used to watching the Eagles with that stout running game, be sitting there with 33 rushing yards right now to the Panthers 157. 3rd and 4.
Got a whistle here.
Timeout going to be called by Georgia State, and that'll be their 3rd and final.
Timeout, Georgia State. This is their 3rd and final timeout of the first half. 30 seconds.
So the Panthers have outscored the Eagles 14-3 in the quarter after Georgia Southern had cut the lead to 13-10.
Absolutely, and they're doing great things with a mix on offense, great defensive play, the takeaways, but also you talk about mixing the run to set up the pass. Here's what's coming up.
Coming up at the half, Georgia State practice report, first half stats and highlights, and we'll take a look around the Sun Belt. This is the only afternoon game in the Sun Belt today. Everything else under the lights starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Crucial game for both these teams, as we mentioned off the top. You can't take a second loss in the conference and have any chance at all, I think, to win this East Division with Coastal and James Madison off to the great start that they are off to. And of course, App is also in the division. So 3rd and 4. Van Treese being chased. Gets rid of it. It's going to be 4th down.
We got
we're going to have a late flag on the Panthers there. Going to be a roughing the passer. Javon Dennis going to be flagged for a late hit on Van Treese.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 98. Defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Here's a look at it right here.
Reverse angle.
Gets rid of the ball.
Yeah, you see, takes him to the ground. And that's why the officials dropped the flag. He had time to let up, to let go.
He knew the ball was gone.
Yeah, he had time to let up, let go. He didn't do that. Costly penalty for the Panthers because it keeps the Eagles on the field. They could have gotten the ball back.
Well, look at
hard running for Jalen White as Jordan Jones comes up to help with the tackle. McCullum, and we got a Panther, Quavian White, shaken up on the play.
He's a valuable player for this team in the secondary. Already had an interception in the game today.
Yep, grabbing his back. Looks like he took a shot in the back from his teammates, probably. 2 of them came up to help him make the tackle. Ended up might hurt him.
You can see the black jerseys go to the ball on that play. Gang tackle to stop Jalen White. He's back up on his feet.
Panthers defense to this point has held Georgia Southern to 191 yards of offense. Yep. And yeah, that's where he takes the hit in the back by McCullum. He was trying to make the tackle. McCullum comes flying in there, and Quavian White takes a shot in the back. You can see he's still kind of grabbing. Even though you got that padding, that flap that hangs down there,
yeah,
he'll be sore. So 1st and 10. 2nd and 10, pardon me, after that no gain. The yardage totals for the game, Panthers at 305. Van Treese with time, finds his man, Hood open in the middle. Hood dances inside down to the 30-yard line. 4th catch of the game for Caleb Hood, who starred at Eagles Landing Christian south of the city. That's a 24-yard pickup for him.
But now the clock's the enemy. Less than 2 minutes.
Well, they should have plenty of time to score here. They've got timeouts as well. Van Treese hit as he throws, goes back to Caleb Wood. Lane puts a stick on him at the 16-yard line, but that'll move the sticks.
You got to give Van Treese credit. I think he saw it coming this time and just got rid of it before taking a big shot.
Yeah, Van Treese has taken some hits here in the first half.
Georgia State changing some personnel on the defensive line.
1st and 10.
The previous play is on the first for targeting by defense. Timeout.
Well, that's interesting because we had a long conversation with the replay official prior to the game about targeting.
Yep.
So he's getting a chance to rule on it right here. Not sure where the targeting would have been.
Me either.
Was it on that or was it on the quarterback? Was it on the quarterback hit? Because there certainly didn't look like there was. I think it's on the quarterback. They're looking for the quarterback. And I think it's going to be a crown of the helmet type of infraction, possibly. It's not on the wide receiver, but on the quarterback play, the hit on the quarterback. And this ties right into our conversation with the replay official prior to the game and crown of the helmet. See, there's not a head-to-head contact, but using the crown of the helmet there to bury the helmet into the quarterback.
Yeah, that's 44, Jeffrey Clark.
So So they might have a targeting right here, even though it was not a helmet to helmet. You can't use the crown of your helmet. So you make the call right here. Did he do that? And then another tough one.
As I said, we're making sure the replay official earns his keep today. We're still in the first half. Coach Helton, his staff and his players are going to circle at halftime. Should be interesting conversation. Things they're going to want to do to get back into this game and get some things to go their way. Although they still have the ball with a chance to get some points on the board here before halftime.
Looks like we have an answer.
After review, it has been determined that number 44 for Georgia State used the crown of his helmet to make the tackle. Number 44 is disqualified from the game. We have the distance to the goal. First and goal.
Well, like I said, we had this very specific conversation with the replay official right before the game about crown of the helmet, and that's exactly what they've called on Jeffrey Clark, and he's been disqualified. Plus you have the penalty, so first and goal to go for Georgia Southern with the ball at the 8-yard line.
As we look there, it's Clark leaving. He's done. Disappointment, obviously, but targeting is something that they are watching for.
That means the redshirt freshman, Tylon Dunlap, is the next guy up on the depth chart. 14-yard completion, 8-yard penalty with the half the distance. First and goal to go, Eagles. Handoff goes to Jalen White, and White into the end zone, and that is going to be ruled down at the 1. They're going to rule knee down before the ball broke the plane at the 1-yard line.
Take another look at it there.
Yeah, the ball does not break the plane. You can see the elbow down inside the 1-yard line. Second down and goal. They're going to go to Burgess, and it's caught for the touchdown. And a flag out. We might have a pick play here on Georgia Southern. They might erase this touchdown.
The pass was caught behind the line of scrimmage by the offense. There's no foul for pass interference by the defense. The score is good.
So touchdown for Georgia Southern. 1-yard touchdown pass from Van Treese to Derwin Burgess makes it 27-16.
As the catch boy juggled it for a moment. Burgess hauling it in. As you said, grew up right down the road in Riverdale.
And Van Treese has now set a Georgia Southern record with a touchdown pass in a 6th consecutive game. It was tied with Chaz Williams, Antonio Hinton, and Jabo Shaw, now the head coach at Wayne County High School. 11 touchdown passes, also ties in with J.R. Revere for 11 touchdown passes in 2000. That's number 4 on the single season list for Georgia Southern. Van Treese is going to end up owning all those records. We're not even halfway through the season yet. PAT is up and good, and the kicker gets knocked down. The punter gets knocked down. Actually, it was just the punter, Beck, the holder, who ended up on his backside, and a lot of pushing and shoving, and we'll have more flags down on the field.
That was 50. Tylon Dunlap, who was just sent in to play in the spot vacated by Jeffrey Clark.
The officials are going to have their hands full in the second half of this game.
It's been, like I said, at the end of plays, it's kind of been building.
Now, this is going to be big because if it's on Georgia State, they're going to tack it on to the kickoff. Which means it could be a kick from the 50-yard line.
During the play, offsides on the defense, number 5. That penalty is declined. The score is good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on number 50 of the defense, that is his first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So this sets up a very interesting scenario as you take a look at it right here. Well, this is the touchdown play. And the catch by Derwin Burgess. And then the penalty comes right here. Watch 50 Dunlop. Yeah, he pushes Danny Corbett right into the kicking team.
He's holding up a little something hair. He's holding up to show it to him. You notice that.
So kicking from the 50, if I was Clay Helton here, I'd be tempted to onside kick this or pooch it.
Put it in play rather than kick it through the end zone and see what you get.
Well, we're down to 53 seconds left in the half. Georgia State has no timeouts remaining. So let's see how they approach this. And they're just going to kick it away. Kick it through the uprights. So they'll bring the ball out to the 25-yard line.
I'm with you. You know, why not give it a shot? Why not?
Well, I mean, why not pooch? Try the pooch. You're at the 50, and if you pooch it 20 yards, it's at the 30. Basically, it's the same thing, and you give yourself a live ball situation, opportunity to maybe recover a ball. To me, it's worth the risk when you're kicking from the 50.
Right.
So ball goes to the Panthers now at the 25-yard line, down to 53 seconds left in the half, and a 27-17 lead, 27-17. Panthers run it right up the middle. And with no timeouts remaining, looks like they're going to just run out the clock here. Unless they go quick tempo, they're back up to the line really quick. A lot of time burning off. We've already lost 25 seconds. Second down and 3. And Granger rolling, looking to take a shot. Now he's going to run it. And Granger steps out of bounds at the 49-yard line with 15 seconds.
And you got a flag here.
Left in the half. So check the penalty flag. If this is on the Eagles, the Panthers are going to be close to being in field goal range. A 19-yard pickup by Granger.
During the run, holding, offense number 85, 10 yards from the end of the run, 1st and 10.
So that'll make it very difficult at this point for the Panthers to get points with the penalty. Let's see where they spot this ball. They're going to set it down at the 43. Not exactly sure about that spot. If it was from the end of the run and the run ended at the 49, it ends up being just an 8-yard penalty there. So Panthers 1st and 10 from the 43. Will run it again, and Tucker Gregg gets run down from behind by Watson Trent, and that probably was the final play of the half. And it is. The Panthers head to the locker room, and so did the Eagles.
Yeah, little chatty here.
27-17 at half. Sam, what do you think?
I think it's been a great ball game and a lot of emotions still there. Teams go to the locker room. It's what you expect from a rivalry.
Coaches doing their best to separate them. and get them to the locker room. 27-17, Georgia State on top. Granger with a couple of touchdown passes in the first half. 10-point lead for the Panthers. Welcome back. It is halftime at Center Park Stadium. Georgia State on top of Georgia Southern, 27-17. Matt Stewart joined by Sam Crenshaw. Sam, your thoughts on that first half? I thought a half that was played a lot like a rivalry game. There was a lot of emotion in that first half.
Explosive start offensively, and then the defenses kind of took control. And then some missed opportunities by Georgia Southern. A pass that was dropped in the end zone, and that's the result what we see right now.
Yeah, they've had a number of drops. They haven't necessarily helped out Kyle Van Treese in the wide receiver corps. Let's take a look at the first half highlights. Things started well for the Eagles. Opening play, Van Treese up top to Jeremy Singleton. 65-yard pass play down to the 10.
This was a big play to set the tone for Georgia Southern offensively, and they finished the drive. Jalen White.
Jalen White takes it in for his 8th touchdown of the season, early 7-0 lead. And then the Panthers come right back on the touchdown pass, Granger to Robert Lewis.
Robert Lewis has been so potent for this team, and here's Jamias Williams finishing a drive. He did most of the running in this drive.
Yeah, after 3 straight field goals, the touchdown run by Jamias Williams makes it 20-10. Jontre Hunter comes up with a big interception, one of 3 for the Panthers defense in the first half, and then the Panthers take a shot, touchdown pass, 53 yards, Jamari Prash.
Just before halftime, Burgess gets one here for Georgia Southern, and that brings the score to what we see at halftime.
27-17. Second half coming up when we get back. Start of the third quarter, 27-17, Panthers on top of the Eagles. Look at the halftime stats. Still always interesting to see that 39-yard rushing yards for the Eagles in the first half. More passing yards than rushing yards for this Georgia Southern team.
For those of us who follow Georgia Southern, really since the program's reinstitution back in the 80s, to see 39 yards rushing is just something you are not used to seeing for a Georgia Southern football team. And let's see if that's something they improve on in the second half. But the Panthers are going to go on offense first.
Eagles kicking off. Fair catch is called for and made there at the goal line. So the Panthers will take over at the 25-yard line. So Darren Granger heads out. 9 of 13 passing for 140 yards, a couple of touchdowns. As you take a look at the nighttime schedule in the Sun Belt Conference, App State at Texas State, Southern Miss at Troy, James Madison playing at Arkansas State. That game's on NFL Network, and Coastal Carolina at ULM. These two teams, Panthers and Eagles, looking for their first conference win, both 0-1 in the conference. Can't afford a second loss in conference play if you're going to try to win that division title and play in the championship game. Dylan Springer there on defense for the Eagles to stop Jamias Williams on his first carry of the second half. Williams, 8 carries, 76 yards and a touchdown, and a long of 42 in that first half of play. Second down and 10. Granger makes a man miss, and Granger runs out of bounds at the 29 and takes a late hit from Najee Thompson. No flag is dropped.
Thompson did come up there to finish up that play and make sure he was going to be out of bounds. They make the stop on that one. Granger rolled out, didn't like what he saw, and decided to pick up some yards on his own. Brings up third down.
Panthers 2 of 5 on third down conversions today. 328 yards of total offense. 8 yards shy of another 200-yard rushing day. Granger to the air, complete to the tight end, Amon Green, and that'll be a first down for the Panthers as Green makes the catch, and Marquez Watson-Trent picks up his 5th tackle of the day.
Green hang on to it this time. He had one hit him in his hands in the first half, didn't hold on to it. Holds on to that one, and it's a first down.
Jamias Green gets 5 yards on the play, up to the 45. Watson-Trent again on the stop for the Eagles. Green needing 150, Williams needing 115 yards today to move into number 4 on the Panthers' all-time rushing list. Getting a steady dose of carries to start this third quarter. And a first down carry by Williams until he's tackled by Kadri Jackson.
Jackson in on the stop, but not before Williams gets the first down, and we got a Panther moving slowly. 73, Travis Glover. Let's see.
Glover moved over to the right tackle position the last couple of weeks with the injuries the Panthers have had at right tackle, opening the door for Luis Cristobal to get his second consecutive start today at left guard. Glover comes out. Let's see who goes in.
It's Montavious Cunningham. And he had the starting job earlier this season before suffering an injury.
Yep, he began the season as the starting right tackle. Jonathan Bass has started at that position as well. He's had injury problems too. Jamias Williams, not much. Wyland Green comes up from his DB position to make the tackle. Number 6 for him today. Second down and 8. Panthers have gone for over 200 yards rushing today. 12th time in 14 games. Up top and broken up. Najee Thompson denies Jamari Thrash in the end zone.
Stride for stride, Thompson's there. Once again, Granger gets time.
Well, Thrash had him beat. The ball hangs up a little too long, and Thompson's able to come over the top with his arm and knock it loose. Third down and 8. Granger has a pocket. Now going to break out of it and run. Not going to get the first down. Stopped at the 39-yard line. As Mark Stampley, former Stars Mill star from Fayette County, comes up to make the tackle. It's going to be fourth down. Let's see if the Panthers, kind of in no man's land here, let's see if they go for it.
It looks like they will.
4th and 4, won't punt. Ball at the 39, going for it. Thrash in motion. Granger fires. It's caught for the first down by Cradle. Trent Watson gets him on the ground. Gets him on the ground. But a first down again for the Panthers.
Granger this time rolling to his left and finds Cradle, just picks a spot, settles in there to get the first down and move the sticks.
18th first down for the Panthers. They've converted on 3rd and 4th down in this drive. Up the middle, Jamias Williams down inside the 20 to the 19, close to a first down.
Watson Trent in on the stop. He is a workhorse right now on the defensive side for the Eagles.
And he had 4 tackles in the first half. He has at least 3 on this drive. Their leading tackler on the season, redshirt sophomore. Granger, delay on the quarterback draw, and Granger picks up the first down at the 14-yard line.
You're kind of taking what's there, and Granger's able to see he's getting the time to see if his runner's not there, nothing there for him to throw to. You got enough green in front of you to get the first down, you go ahead and do it.
Granger now has over 60 yards rushing to go along with his 158 in the air, 65 to be exact. So he's over 200 yards of total offense today. 1st and 10.
Offsides, defense 22 with contact. 5-yard penalty, remain first down.
That's Stampley who gets flagged there.
Just a little eager. It's a freshman, back close to home, playing. It's exciting. Coach don't care for that very much, though.
That'll be the 5th penalty, 45 yards penalized for the Eagles. 1st and 5 now. Tucker Gregg in there. Gregg inside the 5, all the way down to the 3. Wyland Free holding on to the ankle to keep him out of the end zone. 1st and goal to go coming up for the Panthers.
They get back on the ball quickly. That's just what Tucker Gregg does when we got a Georgia Southern player that falls down on the field here.
So let's see what the nature of this injury is. So we'll step aside as they tend to the player down on the field. 1st and goal to go coming up for the Panthers when we get back. After being tended to, Kadri Jackson able to make it off the field. So 1st and goal to go coming up for the Panthers at the 3-yard line. Looking to reestablish a 17-point lead. They led 27-10 until that late touchdown by the Eagles in the second quarter. 13th play of the drive coming up. Panthers have gone 72 yards since starting at their own 25. Tucker Gregg in there. Prime candidate to pick up his 21st rushing touchdown right here. He will get the rock, and he's going to pull his way into the end zone for the touchdown. 21st career rushing touchdown for Tucker Gregg as he continues to add to his program record. And the Panthers back on top now, 33-17.
We got a whistle, got a player down here.
Georgia Southern Eagle down, grabbing his left leg. Looks like he might have gotten caught up in that moving pile of humanity. Trying to get eyes on that to identify the player down.
That's where it's trying to see that number.
Let's see. Yeah, that's just a place you don't want to be. You can see him right there at the bottom of the pile.
At number 1.
Looks like it.
Bradley Glenn.
Todd Bradley Glenn, that guy's been through the ringer in his career. Hope it's not him. I don't think there's anybody in college football who's been through more than Todd Bradley Glenn, if then that indeed him. Oh, goodness, they're bringing out the cart. We'll step aside as they continue to tend to the player on the field.
Wow.
Well, Todd Bradley Glenn, unfortunately, is the young man injured for Georgia Southern. 7th college season. Nobody has been through more than this guy in his career. Overcame cancer when he was a senior at Valdosta High School to start a collegiate career. He's had 3 knee surgeries and a torn biceps in his career. And they're having to take him off on the golf cart apparatus here, which appears to be another leg injury. Can't confirm that, but it appeared they were working on one of his legs. So
you see the disappointment on his face.
Just incredible what that guy's had to go through just to have a college football career. And again here, it looks like he's been injured in this game at Georgia State. A little effort to try to get any kind of an update. Doubtful that we'll get one, but did not look promising as they were dealing with him down on the field. PAT by Hayes is good, and a 34-17 lead for Georgia State. $13 plays, 75 yards for the Panthers on that drive to start this third quarter. And a great way for Georgia State to open the second half with a solid drive. Consumes nearly 5 minutes.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think you could think of a better way to come out of the locker room to start the second half than having a drive like the one that Georgia State just put together.
Well, it's been a tough road, and I mean road, for Georgia Southern to start this season. This is their 4th road game out of their first 6. They are 1-2 on the road. Of course, their one was a big one, the win at Nebraska. They've also lost on the road at UAB and last week at Coastal Carolina. Now losing here today at Georgia State. Kick coming down to Arnold at the 2. Omari Arnold still on his feet and up to the 30-yard line. He's been consistent getting the ball back to about the 30, 31-yard line on all his returns.
And as a true freshman there, he's looking for places to get in and contribute. It seems like returns is a good fit for him.
See the Eagles 3-2 coming in, 0-1 in the Sun Belt. That loss to Coastal being that 0-1. And the wins against Morgan State and Ball State at home, the big one, historic victory, 45-42 at Nebraska. And coming up next, James Madison, undefeated at 2-0 in the conference. James Madison playing at Arkansas State tonight. 1st and 10 for the Eagles, down 17 again. About a 5-yard pickup on the play for Gerald Green. 4th carry of the game for Green. Probably more like a 4-yard pickup, so we'll call it 2nd down and 6. Green again follows his block, and a big hole for Green. Up across the 50-yard line and down to the 47 before being tackled by Ja'Cory Crawford.
Nice blocking on the left side of that line for Georgia Southern. He finds the opening right there. Cuts it up off Caleb Kelly, right tackle.
6th-year senior right tackle out of Forsyth High School and Warner Robbins. 1st and 10, ball at the 49. Van Treese delivers a strike to Amari Jones at the 35-yard line.
Jones open, great catch, and hang on to it in traffic. Davius Lane there for the stop. Another 1st down.
You'll remember he dropped a touchdown pass in the first half. They had to settle for a field goal. Green, 4-yard pickup down to the 31.
Jordan Venciel there for the stop. The Eagles moving on this possession.
2nd down and 6. Wide open at the 15-yard line. Another 1st down for the Eagles as Van Treese delivers to Singleton.
Van Treese is holding on to the ball short of time. He's getting it out quicker. One of the things he's having problems with, the pressure in the first half.
16-yard pickup for Singleton. He's got 97 yards receiving. Wide open, can't come down with it. Pass was a little too high for him, and he runs out of real estate in the end zone. But he was wide open. That should have been 6.
Van Treese threw it a little too high. Singleton to haul in and stay in bounds.
Just those little bits of execution. That's a miss right there. Should have been a touchdown. Amari Jones dropped one. Should have been a touchdown. 2nd down and 10. Jalen White stonewalled at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing. Trey Moore coming up on the tackle. And it's going to be 3rd down. Might have actually lost a yard on the play. 3rd and 11. Line to gain is the 4. Hood in motion. Setting up a screen, it goes to Hood. Hood inside the 10, touchdown Georgia Southern. Nicely executed. You could see the Panthers defensive line slam on the brakes, but it was too late. They'd already been sucked in. Executed nicely on the screen. It is 34-23.
Great play call, perfect execution. Here's another look at it. Gets it out there to Hood. Nothing but pass and grass in front of him. And the touchdown for the Eagles.
2nd touchdown pass of the day for Van Treese. Rayner, PAT good, 34-24. So 2 touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter, one by each team on their opening possessions of the 2nd half. 10-point game again as Hood runs into the end zone. 34-24 after the touchdown pass by Kyle Vantrease. And after a difficult first half through 3 interceptions, he's starting to heat up here. You take a look at the bio blast for Vantrease, named the Walter Camp National Player of the Week after that victory over Nebraska. First ever Eagles player to win that. 9th in the country, FBS in total offense. He has now thrown a touchdown pass in 6 straight games. That's a new program record for the Georgia Southern Eagles. Fair catch is made for by Williams at the 5-yard line, so they'll bring it out to the 25. He's also got a shot at setting the single season passing record for the Eagles. He can do that today. He came in needing 289 yards to pass Antonio Hinton, who threw for 1,852 in 2008, and Vantrease is at 242 right now. He's also tied Tracy Ham with his 12th touchdown pass. That's number 3 on the single season record chart for the Eagles.
Pretty impressive company.
Run by Jamias Williams, who has his 2nd consecutive 100-yard rushing game. Went for 100 plus against Army last week. He's now over 100 here today, closing in on 110. Gets it again, gets stuck right at the line of scrimmage that time. Nothing doing. Eagles defense coming up big there at the line of scrimmage. 96, L.J. McLeod.
Yeah.
3rd down and 5. 252 rushing yards for the Panthers. 12th time in the last 14 games they've gone for over 200. Williams splits out to the top of your screen. 3rd down and 5. Granger surveys the field, delivers downfield, incomplete. Could not connect with Tyleik Williams close to the 50-yard line, and a 3-and-out. Big 3-and-out for the Eagles defense as they force the Panthers to punt here.
Could it be that this second half is starting out the way the game started out, with both teams scoring on their first possessions, and then the defense is kind of setting in, stiffening just a bit?
We'll see what happened. They needed that stop right there to get this thing below double digits, or have an opportunity to do that with another score. Hayes standing at the 16 to punt. Gets it out of there. This should be returnable by Amari Jones. Instead, he watches it hit in front of him and takes a Southern-friendly bounce out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So a pretty short field for the Eagles to go back on offense. Just a 30-yard kick by Hayes.
And he has been so consistent, although he had those problems with blocks earlier in the season.
Had a missed field goal last week at Army, too. So put the ball down at the 40. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 6:23 to play here in the 3rd, and Vantrease now 18 of 30 today with 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 60% completion.
Panthers were able to bring a lot of pressure on him in the first half. Let's see if they can rediscover that here in the 3rd quarter.
1st and 10 from the 40. 305 yards of offense for the Eagles. Jet sweep goes to Burgess, and Burgess gets maybe 2 on the play. Jontre Hunter was there to hit him first, and then Antavius Lane was there to clean it up. Second down and 8. Heavy rush. Vantrease in trouble. Dumps it out of bounds. Panthers bringing pressure with Javon Dennis.
Javon Dennis right up through the middle there. From the chase. Vantrease gets rid of it.
3rd down and 8. Panthers just gifted him 5 yards. That was Trey Moore. Trey Moore has taken over.
False start offense, 72. 5-yard penalty. Remain 3rd down.
Yeah, so Khalil Crowder, 5th-year senior out of Carrollton, commits the penalty. So 3rd down and 13 now. I was going to say Trey Moore, number 54, has taken over that defensive end spot where Jeffrey Clark got ejected for the targeting back in the first half. Van Trees delivers into the shadows, incomplete, looking for Burgess. And it's going to be a 3-and-out for the Eagles, just like you called it. Panthers went 3-and-out. Eagles match them with the 3-and-out.
Van Trees got some pressure on him that time during that sequence.
Jamias Williams standing back at the 25-yard line to take this punt from Anthony Beck. Beck, the Ray Guy Award nominee. Line drive kick. Williams can return this one from the 25. Stutter step, going to take a loss back at the 20. Great coverage. Najee Thompson, who's kind of been a special teams specialist, if you will, during his career. Nice tackle. And a 5-yard loss. That looked like that had a chance to be returned.
Really did. Looked like a returnable punt. They closed in quickly. Sometimes your coverage guys have to bail out the punter. And that punter, Beck has been so good and so consistent throughout his career.
So 1st and 10 from the 20. Granger, far side throw, complete at the 28. Will not pick up the first down on the completion to Thrash Stampley with the tackle. Stampley's gotten a lot of run on that back line for the Eagles today.
Really has, and you remember who's missing from that secondary today, so everybody else has to kind of pick up the slack for not having Derek Canteen back there.
2nd down and 2, and Tucker Gregg with the first down carry. Stampley making the tackle, but Gregg moves the sticks. 12 carries, 51 yards for Gregg in this game. 21 first downs now for the Panthers. Gregg gets the block out in front of him, but it breaks down. He's going to be dropped back at the 31-yard line. Looked like Sumter was out there, was going to clear a hole for him, but the defenders beat the block, and Ellis gets the tackle. Loss of 4 on the play.
Usually if you're running Tucker in between the tackles, you don't try to do any sweeps with him. And that was one that Georgia Southern got out in front of. TFL.
2nd down and 13, ball back at the 32 now. Granger looking, firing, and intercepted at the 43-yard line. Intercepted. Stampley comes up with it. Mark Stampley playing a big second half here for the Eagles. Gets the pick. There's also a flag down on the field.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense number 73. That penalty is declined. Ball goes on an interception.
So the penalty, I believe, was 72. Luis Cristobal, the offensive lineman. And the Eagles have the ball on the plus side of the 50 after Stampley comes up with the pick.
What a moment for that young man. We've been mentioning his name. He comes in with a big pick that could be big for his team right now, giving them the football in Georgia State territory. It's another look at him, March 22. Steps in there and takes it away.
Coach Clay Helton's team gets the turnover they've been looking for, so they take over with a short field. Under 4 minutes to play. Jalen White on the run down to the 36-yard line. Lane coming up from the safety spot, make the tackle, but that's going to be about 6 yards on the play for White. 11 carries, 45 yards for White, and still only 60 869 yards rushing for the Eagles in this game. 2nd down and 5, and White, big hole, 1st down. White down to the 26.
And he has just found something right in the middle there. They're moving people out. And White is able to get another 1st down.
11-yard pickup for Jalen White. 1st and 10 from the 26. 20 first downs now for the Eagles. Play action. They run a wheel right to White. Throws to the end zone and broken up and nearly intercepted. Bryquise Brown with the great defense in the end zone, but we do have a flag down at the 5-yard line.
We may have had too many men on the field here.
Trailing on the play, Crawford nearly got the pick on the ricochet.
Illegal substitution, defense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 1st down.
Justin Abraham was trying desperately to get off the field before the ball was snapped. He wasn't able to make it off.
So the ball will be spotted at the 21-yard line. 1st and 5. Gerald Green hitting the backfield. TFL for the Panthers defense. Abraham making the tackle.
He's been one of the players.
He's been one of the guys that had to step in there with the Panthers losing Blake Carroll during the Charlotte game. Vantrease to the end zone, and Amari Jones gets his foot down for the touchdown. Amari Jones with an acrobatic catch in the corner of the end zone, and it is 34-30.
Jones just gets behind the defender. It's out there, nobody but him.
Wow, what a
Balls
catch. Sticks the landing. Got 2 feet down.
Got the feet down, and that's
amazing.
A touchdown.
Amazing catch by Amari Jones right there, redeeming himself for the drop he had in the first half. And now the Eagles can cut it to a field goal. And the kick is going to be no good. So a big point taken off the board by the Panthers special teams as they got in there and deflected that PAT attempt.
That could be big later on. But still, let's talk more about this great touchdown catch that we just saw by Amari Jones. And think of the thing to set things up. The Stampley interception gets started.
Got him the short field. A great interception by Stampley. Set the table for Vantrease's touchdown pass to Amari Jones. 4 plays, 42 yards, 94 seconds. And now Georgia Southern is as close as they have been since the 2nd quarter when they were down 13-10.
Here's a look. Great catch to get those feet down. It's another look at it.
Kick will not be returned. So the Panthers will bring it out to the 25-yard line. So the lead is 4 for Georgia State. Gave up the touchdown, blocked the PAT. 34-30 heading into the final 2 minutes of this 3rd quarter. Granger 12 of 19, 166 in the air, couple of touchdowns, and the interception he just threw to Stampley a few moments ago. And also 9 carries for 65 yards. So 231 yards of total offense. And the Eagles defense starting to get really stingy with the Panthers run game. Justin Ellis tackles Jamias Williams for a 1-yard gain.
Ellis has been working hard all day. on the defensive front.
Started Roswell High School. Actually started his career at Syracuse. Granger gonna keep it, and Granger run down at the 32-yard line. Watson Trent making the tackle. That puts him in double digits for the day.
He has been busy. 33 and white, but here's a big third down play right here for Georgia State.
Panthers 3 of 8 on their third downs today. 90 seconds to play in the quarter. To the far side, caught for a first down, and Thrash with second effort gets out of bounds at the 38.
Clutch reception there by Mari Thrash. In the presence of mind, try to get away from the defenders, but great pass delivered there by Granger.
Just the third catch of the day for Thrash, but he leads the team in receiving close to 70 yards after that catch right there, and a 22nd first down of the day. Jamias Williams scoots to the outside, across the 50 and all the way down to the 44. Wyland Free makes the tackle, but Jamias Williams having himself a huge day. With that run, he moves into number 4 on the Panthers' all-time rushing list.
Showing the patience, then getting the block, and picking up the first down for Georgia State.
18-yard pickup. Granger gonna get dropped at the 43. Kadri Jackson there, along with help from the defensive lineman. I think that was Christian Varner who tag teamed on the tackle. Second down and 9, ball at the 44. And that, I believe, is going to be the final play of the third quarter as the Panthers walk to the sideline. Hold your horses. We're heading to a big fourth quarter. Eagles outscored the Panthers 13-7 in the third period. It's a 4-point game as we head to the fourth in Atlanta. Game summary as we head to the fourth. Georgia Southern outscoring Georgia State 13-7 in that third period. Van Treese starting to come on track. Granger having a big day. Jamias Williams career high 129 yards rushing. But you get the sense, Sam, that the Eagles starting to grab some of that momentum. That big interception by Stampley kind of paved the way.
Really did. A pivotal moment in the second half of this game. Gave them the short field and they capitalized.
Opening play of the fourth quarter, Granger runs to the sideline, shoved out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And it's going to bring up third down and long.
Notice the shadows have formed in the middle of the field here. The lights have gone on here at Center Park Stadium.
So third down and roughly 10. Panthers 4 of 9 on third down conversions today. Granger with a pocket, throws underneath, complete to Williams. He will not pick up the first down. It's going to be 4th and 4. Very interesting scenario here. Take a look at the completion. Sam, they were in this situation in the first half and went for it.
Right.
And converted.
As you said, you're kind of in a no man's land right here.
Can't kick a field goal and maybe too close to punt. Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down and 4. They converted that 4th down in the first half. Great environment here today for this rivalry game. Granger, long throw and a first down catch at the 33-yard line. Got just enough on the completion to Thrash. 6-yard pickup. And that was a long across the field throw by Granger.
It had to be on the money, and it was there for the catch, and the yards markers move.
1st and 10 at the 33. Tucker Gregg right up the middle. Gregg sprints into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia State. 33-yard touchdown run for Tucker Gregg, and it's 40-30.
We talked about him at the top of the broadcast, how he likes to run over people that are around him. And he can finish. He wasn't about to be caught from behind.
Second rushing touchdown of the day for Gregg as he continues to add to his career-high total of 22, #1 in Panthers history. PAT good, 11-point lead for Georgia State. Tucker Gregg, Tucker the trucker, motors in from 33 yards out. Back in Atlanta, setting up for a thrilling finish in this rivalry game. 9th all-time meeting between Georgia State and Georgia Southern. Panthers going for their 3rd straight win in the series and lead at 41-30. 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. Matt Stewart along with Sam Crenshaw. Thanks for joining us today. Opening game on the Sun Belt schedule today. 4 more games coming up tonight in the conference. This is a big one. These two teams looking for their first conference win, trying to keep from falling to 0-2 in the conference. The conference has become a lot more difficult to win with the addition of the 4 new teams this year.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we kind of figured that might happen. Some strong football traditions have made their way into the Sun Belt. And look at these guys.
Look at that. Jamias Williams now has moved up to #4 on the all-time list. Tucker Gregg closing in on Trey Barnett for the all-time rushing lead. Probably not going to get there today, but sometime in the next couple of games, he'll become the all-time leading rusher in Georgia State history. And Jamias Williams right behind him, trying to run him down and take over #1. What a combination those two guys have been since the start of the 2020 season, not counting today. They had rushed for over 3,100 yards combined. Catch made on the edge by Caleb Hood gets run out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Hood now with 7 catches today. Speaking of records, he's moved into #2 all-time on the Eagles' career receiving list. It's really interesting. We got, several scenarios going on here as far as record books. Pass is complete at the 34. Ball is out. Scooped up by the Panthers. Jontre Hunter takes it into the end zone. Let's see if they're going to count that, however.
Going to count that.
The Eagles believe that it was an incompletion, not a catch and a fumble.
But if he didn't have the ball and have possession of it long enough to call it a catch. Here's a look. Yeah, he showed up and hit the ball right about the same time the ball got there. They may call that an incompletion.
I think they're going to call it an incompletion.
It's on the further review.
Well, the officials did the right thing. They didn't blow the play dead. We've learned over the course of history with replays to let a play out rather than blowing it dead. That way, if it is a touchdown, it's going to count. If it's an if it's an incompletion, it'll be ruled that way. So my guess is that's going to be ruled an incompletion, but the call on the field is catch and fumble. Yeah, he never had control. I think you can see that ball, at least from that angle. It appears the ball was starting to slide down his leg as soon as the defender hit him.
Yeah, that was Coy White in on the defensive play there. Knocked that ball loose so to make sure he didn't catch it.
But again, the key element, as we've all come to learn here on replays, is what was the call on the field. And so since the call on the field is catch, fumble, scoop, and score, does he have possession long enough for that to be ruled a catch, fumble, and score? And granted, now remember, this is slow motion time. This is not real time. In slow-mo time, it looks like he's caught it and has possession. But how many halves of a second is that he had possession?
Yep.
So in real time, it's a lot more difficult to judge. And remember, the replay officials watch it in real time. They don't slow it down. That would not be fair for the officials on the field. So they want to look at it in the same speed of time that the officials did. I think we got a decision here. Oh, maybe we don't.
Oh, the headset goes back on. All right, here we go.
The Eagles offense is back out on the field.
After further review, the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The ball being placed at the 31-yard line, 3rd and 4.
Well, the Georgia State fans are going to boo that, and understandably so. They want the home team to get the call, but I think that's the right call. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 4 from the 31. Pass complete, 1st down. Jones makes the catch, got tripped up in the open field. Lane makes the tackle, but that's a 1st down catch for the Eagles. Ball at the 39. Pump fake. Van Treese goes back. Amari Jones, super catch. He has had some nice catches here in the second half. His touchdown catch being the best. Two-lane transfer.
Van Treese with a pump fake. Help him get open. Got a whistle. He got a whistle here. Timeout.
Timeout. Georgia State. First timeout of the second half. 30 seconds. Timeout.
So we'll step aside as they take that timeout with a big 2nd down and 1 coming up. Coming out of a timeout called by Georgia State on defense, 41-30. Panthers on top of the Eagles. Matt Stewart along with Sam Crenshaw. 2nd down and 1. I think on the surface looks like an odd time to call a timeout. I think the Panthers felt like they were caught in a mismatch and that they were going to take a shot here against 1-on-1 coverage.
And Sean Elliott saw that and quickly called for the timeout to rally his troops up. And now let's see what they do. The 2nd down play.
Van Treese at 291 yards has now set the all-time single-season passing record for the Eagles. Pass is incomplete, and a great play by Quavian White coming over the back to knock the ball away.
That's a fantastic play. Watch for 20. Reaching over there, knocking that ball away, denying Singleton.
Quave's not the biggest guy at 5'10", 185, but you got to wonder about his future to have a shot in the National Football League. He is such a ball-hawking cornerback. Great cover skills. Jalen White on the run, bounces out of a couple of tackles and down to the 47-yard line, picks up the 1st down.
That is some want to. That is some running. He's just determined to get to that 1st down marker and move those sticks. Hard running that time by Jalen White. Just wouldn't be denied.
White now 13 carries, approaching 60 yards and a touchdown. Scored the 1st touchdown of the day way back in the 1st quarter. Hood on the reverse, and Hood to the 46-yard line. Late flag comes in. 1-yard pickup. Actually end around. They didn't reverse the field, actually, I don't think, on that play. They didn't go one way then the other. Just brought Hood around from that other end.
During the run, illegal blocking the back, number 5 of the offense. A penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. Replay, 1st down.
So that will push the ball back to the 45. So 1st and 18. Hood in motion. They fake the handoff to him that time. Underneath they go to Singleton, and Singleton gets thrown out of bounds by McCullum.
Saw Vantrease like pump fake a couple of times to try to get his receiver open. Ended up having to go to Singleton instead.
Second down and 14. Singleton looks like he's going to have to leave the field after making his 5th catch of the game. Vantrease, other side he goes, and Burgess tried to get his hands on it. Did get one, but couldn't bring it in. 3rd down now. 3rd down and long for the Eagles.
That's that long throw. Didn't get it just right as we bring up 3rd down.
Eagles 7 for 11 on 3rd downs. Pocket for Vantrease. They throw underneath to Jalen White. White burst to the outside and picks up the first down. A third and 14 and they convert on a pass underneath to Jalen White.
White did a lot of that on his own. Open for the reception. Watch him bounce off the defenders. Right here. And again.
In the middle, complete the hood, and down to the 14-yard line tackle made by Lane.
Great adjustment by Caleb Hood. Catch this ball strong at his shoulder. Reaches back to ball, and another first down. Georgia Southern.
White gaping hole picks up 4 until Abraham gets him on the ground at 11. Looks like we have a man down. Abraham made the tackle. Still down on his back. So I'm kind of flexing that arm. Might be a stinger situation. So second down and 6 coming up for the Eagles. They trail by 11. It'll be interesting to see if they get the 6 right here. Do they go for the 2? I would think at this stage of the game you're doing that.
It's time to start thinking of those things. Less than 10 minutes to play in the game. Missed the point after.
Yep, had it blocked. Ball at the 11, under 10 to play in regulation. Handoff, Jalen White. Hit hard as he gets to the 6-yard line by Antavius Lane. Big collision right there. Going to be close to the first down. Looks like they're spotting him a little bit short, bringing up 3rd down and less than a yard. White got hit in the backfield. Thomas Gore with the TFL forces them into a 4th down situation. And they're going to go for 3 right here.
Gore wasn't fooled. Comes in below, makes the big stop.
What a huge play by Thomas Gore. And so the Eagles, rather than risk not getting anything right here on 4th and 3, send Rayner out for a 25-yard field goal in the middle of the field. Kick is good. Rayner cuts it to 8. 25-yard field goal by Alex Rayner. 41-33 with 8.5 to go. (41-33), 8:26 to go in this one. Matt Stewart, Sam Crenshaw, the rivalry game. Panthers trying to win their 3rd straight in the series. 9th all-time meeting since the Eagles joined the Sun Belt along with the Panthers back in 2014. Lance ready to kick off for the Eagles. Fair catch called for, made at the 6 by Williams. Panthers will start at the 25-yard line. So here's where being able to run the ball becomes such a huge and important factor. Panthers have rushed for 307 yards today.
And that's been the calling card of this football team with the coming of Sean Elliott here at Georgia State. And who's in the backfield to get things started? Tucker Gregg for this possession.
14 carries, 87 yards for Tucker Gregg today. He's the 2nd leading rusher today. Jamias Williams, 16 carries for 129. 489 yards of total offense for Georgia State. Granger going to the air. A little bit surprised by that. Pass is complete to Thrash at the 29. Birdsong making the tackle, his 7th of the game. Team leading 5th catch of the day for Jamari Thrash. He's right around 75 yards. Came in number 2 in the Sun Belt in receiving yards with 428. So he's up right at 500 for the season now. Tucker Gregg at the 32-yard line. Going to be about 3 yards short of the first down, bringing up a 3rd and 3. Sean Elliott telling us that Tucker Gregg kind of epitomizes their program, kind of the underdog mentality. Nobody giving you a shot, nobody giving you a second look. Tucker Gregg's story well documented. He basically recruited himself to Georgia State by pestering the coaches long enough with videotape that they finally gave him a chance. Pass complete, first down at the 41. Jamari Thrash motions forward as the Panthers pick up their 26th first down of the game. 9-yard pickup.
Thrash over there working against Tyler Bride.
Well, hold on a second.
They got a whistle.
Holding, offense, 75. 10-yard penalty from the tricky spot. Remain 3rd down.
Left tackle Bryson Broadway, the junior that they brought in from Eastern Illinois, commits the infraction. And as Lee Corso would say, not so fast.
Not so fast.
First down negated. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 13, and a big chore for the Panthers to stay on the field here. Clock goes under 7 to play. Long throw and broken up. Great defensive play by Najee Thompson, who's played a heck of a game at corner, especially here in the second half, and it's 4th down. A big-time play by Najee Thompson. That was a long throw for Granger. Gave Thompson a chance to recover, react, and bat it down. So Hayes on to kick. Stands at his 7. And Amari Jones standing deep at the 41 for the Eagles.
Not a whistle here.
Timeout, Panthers.
Timeout. Georgia State, 2nd timeout of the second half, 30 seconds.
So we'll step aside as the Panthers get ready to give the ball back to the Eagles here in the 4th quarter. 4th and 3 for the Panthers. 4th and 13 for the Panthers, pardon me, as they're kicking from inside their 10-yard line. Eagles going to get the ball back in good field position and just under 7 to play here.
I think you're seeing the Eagles line up there, maybe try to come for the block right now. They know Georgia State has had trouble with this.
They got 10 on the line, and they send 8, and they nearly got it. Amari Jones calls fair catch at the 44-yard line. I don't know how Hayes got it out of there. They were virtually on top of him when he made connection.
Punt protection just been an issue for this Georgia State team this season, going all the way back to the game at Auburn last season. But they have 2 blocked for touchdowns.
It's cost them the chance to win at South Carolina in the season opener. They had 2 punts blocked going for touchdowns. And now Clay Helton's team goes on offense down 8, needing a score, as in a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Vantrease 26 of 43, 331, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, all 3 picks coming in the first half. Got a man dragging underneath. They get it to Amari Jones. He makes the catch and tackled by Muhammad at the 46.
Great stop by Muhammad.
Second down and 9 from the 46-yard line. Singleton, who's been their leading receiver, 101 yards catching the ball today, was in motion. Jalen White gets upended at the 49-yard line, going to bring up 3rd down. Third and 5. White, their leading rusher today. 17 carries, just over 70 yards. Vantrease long throw, caught short of the first down by Hood. It's going to bring up 4th down and 2. And I think you got to go for it here. You don't want to kick it back to this Panthers team that runs the ball so well and risk having them run out the clock. So 4th down and 2, ball at the 48. Clay Helton still keeps his offense out there. Rush is coming. Vantrease intercepted at the 40-yard line. Jordan Jones with the pick. Returns it to the 49. 4th interception of the day for the Panthers defense.
And look at the smile on that young man's face. He has had to step into Blake Carroll's spot as an inside linebacker, and they can't say enough about this young man. How much he's learned, how much he's caught on, he's thrown in and had to start last week. Rises to the occasion right here. They say it's his speed, determination, the way he plays. It really is a game changer when he's inserted into defense. Big play for him. Says he's been busy to get caught up with everybody else in the film room.
Redshirt freshman,
right, you know?
Yeah, redshirt freshman out of Smith Stations, Alabama, had a career-high 12 tackles last week against Army. Comes up with a big pick today. Tucker Gregg rumbles down to the 44-yard line, picks up 6 on the play. Gregg approaching 100 yards rushing. Panthers already have Jamias Williams at 129. Gregg at 95 on 16 carries. Now the Panthers with the ball and the lead will try to grind out the clock. Another score, of course, would virtually put the game out of reach, you would have to suspect. Play clock down to 4. Gregg on 2nd and 5. Still moving. Picks up 2 to the 43. Panthers going for their 3rd consecutive win in the series and their 2nd here at home. They won here in 2020, won in Statesboro last year with a touchdown in the final 30 seconds, and lead here by 8, the clock running under 4.
Still time.
The Eagles really need to get a stop right here, or they're going to have to start using timeouts. Granger on a sprint out throw, complete the thrash, close to the first down. There is a flag out as well at the point of contact. Slay Helton believes they stopped him shy of the sticks. Let's see where they spot it. Panthers had to get to the 40 and also check the penalty call too. That's going to determine whether the measurement even is necessary.
Legal shift, offense, 2-minute movie, resetting. 5-yard penalty from the replay, 3rd down.
So now 3rd and 3 becomes 3rd and 8.
Not the time in the game you want to see that penalty. You don't want to see it any time, but at a time like this makes converting a little bit trickier.
Panthers rolling about 33% on their 3rd down conversions today, 4 for 11. Penalty gives the Eagles a chance to get their defense off the field. Pass to the sideline and nearly intercepted by Dedmon, who was trailing on the play. It was broken up by Bride, and then Dedmon, the linebacker, trailing on the play, nearly got the pick, and the Panthers have to punt it away, and the Eagles still got a shot here.
There is still time. If they can come up with a defensive play like this one, we're going to get another shot at the football. Let that ball hang up there. Couldn't haul it in.
Amari Jones back deep at the 10-yard line for Georgia Southern, and Hayes punting right now, standing on his own 38. Not much of a rush. End over end kick is coming down at the 7, bouncing backwards, and the Panthers have pinned the Eagles inside the 10.
That's what you hope for with that punt. So you can hang it up there and it gives it a little backwards bounce. Give you a chance to cover it, get down and down it. Give them a longer distance they have to travel. We got 2:58 to go.
So the Panthers send their defense back out there today. They've had 4 interceptions of Kyle Van Treese. Eagles need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. They're 90 yards away with just under 3 to play. In the middle to Hood. Hood up to the 25. They get 15 on the plays. Hood makes his 9th catch and goes over 100 yards receiving for the day. Complete to Hood again. Hood dropped it, recovered by the Panthers at the 34-yard line.
Who got the hand in on that? I think it was John Trey Hunter.
Jordan Venzial recovers the fumble for the Panthers. Georgia Southern does still have all 3 timeouts remaining, so they're not done yet. But Venzial with the big fumble recovery after Hood had made his 2nd consecutive reception. There's Lane.
John Trey Hunter.
Antavius Lane, I think, was the one who stripped. What a game by Lane. 14 tackles today and a big strip fumble.
Lives up to that name, the hit stick. There's Blake Carroll there with his 42 jersey there on the crutches. Not able to be out there with the defense. Proud of their effort here today.
So 1st and 10 from the 34. Tucker Gregg gets 3 yards, and the Eagles use a timeout right away. That'll stop the clock with 2:32. So Georgia Southern does have 2 timeouts remaining. If they can stop the Panthers from getting a first down, it would force Georgia State into a decision here. Do you try the long field goal or go for the first down and finish off the game? But they've got to get stops on the next 2 downs to keep that alive. If the Panthers can get a first down, they can basically finish off the win.
And the thing they have to do is on each play with Georgia Southern have to use a timeout.
Yep. So they've got 2 remaining. Just burned their first. Panthers trying to pick up their first conference win of the season. Improved to 1-1 and dropped the Eagles to 0-2. Tucker Gregg right into the middle. Anthony Wilson, Birdsong, Justin Birdsong making the tackle.
Georgia Southern, second timeout of the second half.
Only 7 seconds burned off the clock, so the Eagles doing a good job of time management there. This third down play gets really big. If you were the Panthers, if you are offensive coordinator Trent McKnight, do you throw the ball here, go for the first down and finish off the game, or do you keep it on the ground and make the Eagles burn that last time out?
I think you try to throw it and see if you can't, get the first down that way.
You get the first down, you finish the game, and that last remaining timeout for the Eagles is inconsequential. So 3rd down and 6, ball at the 30. Line to gain is the 24. Green in motion, the tight end now sets on the right side. Handoff goes to Gregg again, and Gregg down to the 25. Going to be a yard short. It's going to be 4th down. The Eagles use their last timeout. We've come down to 1 play. This next play determines what happens from here on out. Panthers get the first down, game over. Eagles get the stop. They still have a chance.
They still have the chance, but they can't stop the clock.
Yeah, but they'll have the ball and plenty of time to get the ball down the field. If they can get the stop right here, they still got a shot. Upcoming schedule for the Eagles. They're back home for just their 3rd home game. James Madison on October 15th. That game is on ESPN+. Close out the season with their other big rivalry game, Appalachian State. Much longer rivalry.
Yep.
And then speaking of App State, that's the Panthers' next opponent.
It's Wednesday night.
It's a Wednesday night game on October 19th.
Up on the mountain.
4th down and 1. Handoff Gregg, and he gets the first down, and the Panthers are going to win the game.
Get canceled for this.
When in doubt, turn it over to Tucker.
So Tucker Gregg seals the victory with that first down run right there. And now the Eagles have no more opportunities to stop the clock, and it'll run as we're approaching 2 minutes to play.
You know this guy gets a little satisfaction from that. Going up against your rival, and he's the one that helps seal the victory with that first down run.
2 100-yard rushers for the Panthers today, Jamias Williams and Tucker Gregg. And Gregg gets met right there in the hole by Watson Trent. 11 tackles for the Eagles linebacker today. Clock continues to run.
He has not stopped. He has been there and been making the stops, bringing the hits throughout this game for the Eagles.
2nd down and 8. The play clock's at 30 seconds, so Panthers have a lot of time to burn here before they have to snap it again. It should be under 1 minute on the game clock by the time they snap it again and they go into their victory formation.
Every coach's favorite.
Granger will take a knee. And now it's going to be 3rd down. And the play clock now resets at 40. So it'll be at roughly 8 seconds before the Panthers have to snap it again. 3rd down here. Panthers will improve to 2-4 on the season, 1-1 in the Sun Belt. Eagles will drop to 3-3 in the season, 0-2 in the Sun Belt. And the Panthers have now won 3 in a row in the all-time series and lead the series 6-3. Defeat the Georgia Southern Eagles today, 41-33 the final. Granger, a big day, 2 touchdown passes, well over 200 yards of offense. Jamias Williams, Tucker Gregg go for over 100 yards rushing each. And Tavius Lane, 14 tackles today as well.
Big effort in every way, all phases of the game for Georgia State today to get this win. It was big for them getting the win last week at Army to come back and get a conference victory, especially this one against Georgia Southern. Now they have next Saturday out before going on a Wednesday night game up to Boone to take on Appalachian State.
And what this win does is keep them alive in the East Division race at 1-1. You'll have to win out from here to have a shot. And they'll have some opponents in front of them that they can knock out of the race, but they'll have to win out from here. But they take the first step today with a 41-33 victory over Georgia Southern. And now for Sam Crenshaw and our entire ESPN team, I'm Matt Stewart. So long from Center Park Stadium, where the Panthers beat the Eagles for the 3rd year in a row. 41-33 the final.